I'll tell you what, today I'm a whole new, different kind of late. It's not really my fault. I was actually sick this morning and I don't really know why, but I feel okay now, so we'll crack on. And the first thing on the menu is take this one for a quick ride in the block of ice. Might be a good idea to turn the heating on, what do you reckon?
Yes, it's freezing. Oh my god, they're ridiculous. But look. No. 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 Literally, what is that for? What can you put in there?
Yeah, that one I'm not sure about. That one is a bit on the small side. But this one fits a large Costa or a large Starbucks. No problem. And it holds it snugly as well.
What's the music like?
It's alright. I think this is the standard speakers. They do Bose speakers as well. Ah, right on time.
Brilliant.
It is quite noisy when you've got it on. I mean, this is all the heating and not exactly silent, but at least it's nice and toasty in here.
Yeah.
She's finished her phone call, finally.
Sorry.
Obviously, I'd let Soph drive, but she's not on insurance, unfortunately.
No light.
No vanity light in the mirror.
How am I supposed to do my makeup?
While driving along at 80 miles an hour in the dark? That is a really good question, Soph. I'm not sure about where you've put your bottle there, actually, Soph.
Well, you get stupid cup holders,
yeah,
which are about the size of an espresso coffee.
Yeah, although they do fit bigger things, actually,
No, I can fit a shot glass in there, babe.
Well, that'll be handy. Well, you're driving along at 80 miles an hour.
My makeup.
Yeah, do your makeup
drunk.
in the dark with your shot of vodka. Yeah, it's not a massively expensive premium vehicle.
Well,
and it's not supposed to be.
Can we go a bit faster?
Well, this is a bit faster.
Is that acceleration?
That's acceleration, yeah.
Not being funny, but on what planet do you think I would get one of these?
Oh, it's electric with decent range, I might add.
Stop it.
What?
Funny noise.
Yes, it's the pedestrian alert system that my car does not have at all. Right. So this is 10 to 30.
Is that the pedestrian alert thing?
Yeah. But do you see what I mean? It picks up fine until you get to about 25, 30 miles an hour.
I want to see you keep accelerating.
Now I'm accelerating, full pedal to the floor. That's
acceptable. I mean, it depends on your budget, doesn't it?
I'll tell you what I principally like about it. It's 2 degrees outside. You feeling cold?
No.
All right.
Oh, it's
I know. Let's go to my parents.
Better than
We just jump in there and we just drive there.
Yeah.
In fact, we could drive to my parents and then drive home, and if this was the faster charging one, which it isn't, all we would have to do is get a coffee, and we'd be able to do that round trip of over 150 miles.
How long
in the dead of winter. Like literally the length of time it gets to get a coffee, 5-10 minutes.
You know, good for Renault for doing this. Is it popular? Is it sold well?
Well, it's literally only just out now, really, the 41 kilowatt version.
How much is
I think it will be fairly popular. I think if you want like pretty top of the line, I think it's about 25 grand. Honestly, I don't really know, but it's in that kind of ballpark. I enjoy driving it. It's a nice relaxing drive. I'm perfectly comfortable.
It's quite high, as you said.
In lots of ways, I think it's really good. But the main principal thing that I like about this car is it is both an EV and a realistic car. So if we optioned one up for you, I think it would be good.
Please don't take my Mercedes away.
We're going to get you in an EV one day, Soph.
The X was nice.
The X was huge and stupidly expensive.
Yeah, but no. It's cool.
You
Next year we can
maniac.
buy it, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you very much for your, So I'm giving it a bit of a country road test now. I think the size of this car lends itself to country roads, and I find the steering to be pretty precise and nimble. So I think this is probably quite a good point to sort of list the pros and cons. Now, obviously a direct comparison against a Tesla or even my wife's Merc is probably not a fair comparison. On the pros, first and foremost, it's got to be the range. It's got a realistic range. Even in winter, you can expect to get over 120 miles out of the battery and probably still have 10-20 miles left over. So that's definitely pro number one. The next thing on the pros list is, although it's small, there are advantages to that. Another thing that I quite like about it is that it's high. You've got good visibility around you, but at the same time, because it's an electric vehicle and it's got a battery that's down low, it doesn't corner like a lot of high vehicles do, where you kind of think, oh, I like the sat nav. I like the fact it tells you when speed cameras are coming, because you know, it's okay for people that speed all the time. They're used to looking out for speed cameras more than they look out for pedestrians and other traffic. But if you don't normally speed, but sometimes you might accidentally just not realise you're in a 30 or 40 zone yet, if you've got the faster charging version, then I think the AC Type 2 charging is actually very versatile. And for longer journeys where you're planning on stopping somewhere for lunch and they've got, say, a 22 kilowatt post in the vicinity, then it's just ideal. And with that faster charging 43 kilowatt charging car, what you're talking about is, you know, a perfectly capable long distance vehicle. I would be totally happy to take that up to Scotland. And I don't think it would take me a massive amount longer than it would in my Tesla either. Okay, let's talk about the cons. Because you know what? No car is perfect. And that is true for this one as well. It's not going to stack up against a premium brand in terms of the quality of the interior materials. That said, I actually think they look and feel reasonable. Another thing that's a con, standard sound. Ah, don't go there. Oh no. Get the Bose sound. It will be worth every penny. If you like listening to music, it could have turn by turn up here on the dash, a bit like the Tesla does, even simplified turn by turn. I still haven't found any kind of indicator that tells me what speed the car is charging at. I mean, there must be one. There must, but I don't know where it is. I definitely prefer electric vehicles that don't try and hide the fact that they're electric vehicles. I'd like a seat height adjuster. The Nissan Leaf has one. Can't seem to find it in this. On the flip side, I also quite like the high driving position. So, one more pro, and this is not something that you should have to list as a pro in an EV, and yet somehow it is. It doesn't seem to have a guessometer. Far as I can tell, it takes an account of the outside temperature, and other than that, it's got a sort of, a bit like the Tesla, a standard amount of watt hours per mile that it thinks you should be able to do driving normally. If you drive faster than that, you will eat the miles quicker, and if you drive slower than that, you will eat the miles slower. But what it doesn't do is go, oh, you're going up a hill, you can only do 50. Oh, you're going down a hill, so now you've got a range of 250 miles. You know, that kind of thing is just nuts. I feel the ability to cover long distances efficiently and cheaply is one of the primary advantages of an electric vehicle. So if you have a short range electric vehicle, you're just missing out. So the difference between an 80 mile EV and a 120 mile EV doesn't sound that much. It's only 40 miles, right? Wrong. Because your 80 mile EV, you've got to plan to stop before you get down into the last 20 miles. Otherwise you take a chance and one day you will wind up on the back of a flatbed. It's actually the difference between 60 and 100, or 60 and, in this car, in winter, the difference between 60 and 130. So you get more than twice the range of actual usable. Auto locking doors. That's a pro. I actually think I'm going to miss that car. I get attached to EVs very quickly, and I've even got to take out coffee. Because I am actually gagging for a coffee today. It's, yeah. Whew. Let's find out if this electric skateboard's going to work. I don't really have anywhere at home to test this. Okay then. Right, this should be working now. Hey! Oh, that's really good news. I really missed this board. I don't know what was up with me this morning. It was really weird. I woke up with a splitting headache, a sort of a weird feeling in my stomach, and then about 2 hours later, I was sick. And then I went back to sleep again for another 2 hours. And now I'm basically fine. I've never actually seen that. No regen available at all. Well, it's nice to have my car back. I did like the Renault ZOE, and okay, it's a completely different class of vehicle to a Tesla, obviously, and a completely different price as well. But the reality is, if I wasn't driving that, I'd probably get the Renault ZOE, because I like doing long distances, and it can handle that. I also just quickly want to say a massive thank you to Slick Revolution for sorting out my board. I think at this point, I'm actually going to say goodbye, because I've got loads of editing to do. So there's not going to be any more fun going on today, basically. So I hope you've all enjoyed today's vlog post. If you have, remember to like it, share it, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next installment of my daily vlog. Bye. Idiot, the camera's got to start. Yep. Go on then.
Wally.
So, if you do realise it's not, you do realise it's not a live stream. Yeah, they could be bigger, couldn't they? I'm saying with a straight face now. Oh, damn it.